right, good evening everybody. Thanks for joining in for our latest live stream. We are going to be continue working on these cute little cozy critters. Hopefully everything is good with our sound and audio, and we'll just carry on here. So, hi there, Lisa. Hi, Mina. Hi, Night Owl. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Michael. Hi, Desiree. So glad to be here tonight. I missed you guys all the last couple weeks now. It's been a little bit crazy, just trying to take care of some annual stuff right now and the holidays and everything. I'm sorry that I had to cancel our Friday night live stream last week, and I plan on pretty much going all the way through December without stopping. So consider the last two nights, the last 2 weeks that we didn't have a live stream, consider that both Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday break. But Christmas this year is on a Wednesday, so I don't see a reason why we won't just power on through the month of December without any breaks. So we'll catch up and keep on moving. Hi Steve, doing well, thanks. Hi Christy. Hi there, Mellow Yellow. Hi Terry. Hi Estella. All right, so good evening again to everybody. Last week we were working on these, it's actually been 2 weeks now, but regardless, we were working on the cozy critters, and we were able to actually get Mr. Chipmunk pretty well wrapped up. I think he's a squirrel, but you know what I mean. Tonight we'll be working on the misses, and I think we figured out that he's the guy and she's the gal because he gave her his hat. He was very chivalrous. All right. So awesome. Thanks, Mina and Terry, for the update on the sound and audio. Let's see. So I'll be working again tonight with the Walnut Hollow Creative Versa tool and the shading point, and we'll just dive right into this project here. So we'll start with the eyes. Oh, I think this was wobbly last time, so let me secure everything and tape it into place before we get started here, because I know that is a problem. Hey Sophie, you're in the road. Hi. Have some nice little holiday tape here, and we'll just tape this piece of wood to the table because it's not cooperating. Sorry, I forgot about that last week. Wow, this is like Mondo tape. I think there's 2 of them in there. Okay, so I hope everybody had a fantastic Thanksgiving. And are you guys through all the leftovers? Or are we still munching on turkey? So Terry is naming our little squirrels. Terry says we could call them Dapper Dan and Delightful Debbie. Dan and Debbie. I think those are very cute. All right, now we're not going to shift and move around there. If I need to zoom in, you guys give me a holler at any point, and I'll make that happen. So just really focused on that upper tip of the shading point. We're going to outline the darkest parts of the eye. She's kind of looking towards Dan. We went with Dan. Okay, Dan and Debbie. So yeah. I got my head and the camera. And duck. Yeah. Sorry guys. Okay, so I'm going to lightly outline the darkest parts, and then there is a little bit of a reflection or a highlight, however you want to say it, in the eye, so we'll outline that lightly. And then we'll fill in the darkest parts of the eye. Oh, let's see, Terry, you just ordered takeout turkey dinner for Thanksgiving. Oh, well, that's good. Yeah, it's a lot of work to cook for the Thanksgiving meal. Moving on to the next eye, again, nice light outline. And around the highlights. And there's kind of a little lighter, like a reverse C shape in here that will burn around as well. We had one over on Dan, so we'll match it with one on Debbie here. Next, we'll just fill in the dark area of the eye. Ah, Desiree, your husband cooked a Peruvian duck dish for Thanksgiving. Wow. That sounds very interesting. So I know it looks kind of crazy right now, but just keep at it and block in that darkest part of the eye. Sometimes you may need to jump around so you don't get too much like overburn on an area. You don't want to get it too dark. Night Owl says your hand was cramping at work because you did wood burning on all 4 days of your vacation. Oh, that's great. That's lovely. I did not wood burn much over the holiday. I wanted to, but there was a lot of pressing, timely things that had to be done, and there's always time later, hopefully. Terry, yes, thank you for the reminder to hit like and thumbs up and all that jazz with the video. Make sure if you're new here that you subscribe so that you don't miss when we go live. Or if we don't go live, usually we're here every other Monday and every Friday. But sometimes life happens and I have to reschedule. A few little whiskers there. I'm gonna make hers a little longer. Okay. All right, let's work on the hat next. I think I might reposition everything so you guys can see a little bit better. So I think this will actually work better over here. Okay. There we go. And then it sags. Okay, we'll get this together here, guys. Terry is asking if we try to get others to join in the live, how can we get them here, or do they have to be a Bear Den member? You don't have to be a member on our paid community to watch these live streams. So you just send them the link that I have. It's here. It's posted here on YouTube. It's also posted on the Bear Den. So you are more than welcome to invite new people to the live stream, and that would be wonderful and very helpful to get more people interested in wood burning. So I think that's a great idea. All right, just a nice light outline on her hat. When outlining, we don't want to make it too crazy dark. Sometimes it can be hard to blend in later. I like to not have harsh outlines if I can help it, and just create definition more with shading. You're very welcome, Terry. Hi, Cynthia. It's okay, we have some little bumpy ridges on this hat, so don't worry if your lines aren't straight, because they really don't need to be right now. Okay. So once you have your hat kind of blocked in, let's start by adding some of our texture, which is a lot of kind of flowing backward lines here. And you can just keep making layers with these backward kind of curving lines for the hat. It's going to be darker at the base of this little fluffy ball on top of the hat. It's going to be darker as it curves down where it attaches to the top of the hat. But by using a rounded curved motion, we can get a nice rounded appearance to our hat ball, for lack of a technical term. I don't know what that's called. Terry, you're sitting here drinking eggnog and a cup of coffee. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, eggnog is definitely in season right now. My husband and kids love it. I'm not really a big eggnog person, but a lot of people really love it. So as our lines come across the hat, think parentheses, where on this side of the hat we have the left-sided parentheses, and then on this side we're going to have the right-sided parentheses. It will make the hat look more natural. You can't do like a left-handed parenthesis mark all the way across the hat. It won't look natural. So you have to make sure that they both kind of curve inwards. Hi. All good? And at one point here in the center, your lines are almost going to be straight up. Terry, you wish that eggnog was served all year round. Yep, my kids do too. And so does my husband. Jezreel, you can't stand nutmeg. See, I love nutmeg. I'm just not an eggnog person. I think it's just I think it's the consistency more than anything. The taste is okay, but it's just a little bit kind of thick. So we're going to go back over the hat and darken up some of our ridges here and add a few more in between. Trying to keep our angles correct on the hat. Night Owl likes the hot apple cider. Oh, that's great. Those warm seasonal drinks are really nice. Terry says eggnog is really good mixed with amaretto. I'm not sure what that is. I know my husband likes his with a little bit of rum sometimes. I'll take the rum over the eggnog personally. Lisa, you make your own homemade eggnog. Oh, that's great. Yes, and cider is very nice as well. Okay. So we need to add a little bit of shading at the top of the hat, just so it is kind of grounded. If we leave it super light there, it's not going to look very natural, because the fluff ball on top is going to cast a little bit of a shadow on the bottom part of the hat. Alrighty. So lastly, we're going to just darken up the area where the top of the hat meets the brim, that folded area, and we're going to darken it just so it looks like it's tucking under the part of the hat that's folded up. Oh, you guys are having all kinds of good drink recipes there in the chat. That sounds lovely. Mina, that's great. Thank you for clarifying to Terry that to access the recordings and the pattern is exclusive to paid members, and non-members may purchase the pattern if it's available at Wood Burning University. Yes. But as far as just watching the live stream, everybody is welcome to attend this live stream for free. But the pattern and the recording of everything that we've done is over on Mighty Networks. So if you haven't joined Mighty Networks yet, please consider doing so. It helps keep the lights on here in the studio and allows me to do these live streams for free so that more people can watch them and learn about wood burning. But there's a lot of great perks for signing up on our paid platform. You get the pattern that we're working on for free. You also get a discount on patterns over at Wood Burning University and get all the past instructions based on skill level. And it's really very inexpensive for the amount of teaching that you get. Because normally I teach, well, every Friday night. That's 4 weeks, 2 hours at a time, you know. Whoa. That's a lot of hours of instruction, plus a 2-hour live stream every other Monday. So somebody that's better at math can figure that one out. But it's a lot of hours of instruction each month for not very much. Even at the diamond plan, which is $25 a month, there's a lot that you get for that. Anyway, I just really appreciate everybody that's over on the Mighty Networks Bear Den and help keep things going here as an artist. And there's a community there, there's chats, you can ask questions and get feedback, and it's just a wonderful place. And it's so much easier to navigate than Patreon. Patreon was a nightmare. You'd have to scroll forever to find anything. So on Mighty Networks, everything is nice and neat and organized and categorized by skill level, so it's very easy to find the project that you're looking for. All right. Oh, that reminds me, guys, calendars. If you've not ordered your calendar yet, you'll have a few hours tonight after the live stream. It was supposed to be, everything was cut off yesterday, and I already ordered calendars. But if there's any late people that, forgot about the calendars or whatnot, please take advantage of these next few hours this evening. Probably by the time I go to bed, maybe 11 o'clock my time, I'll have to take the calendars off the website. So if you haven't gotten your calendar yet, please zip on over to either Wood Burning University or Minisa Pyrography and snag you a calendar. That way I can get any late orders issued, and then I'll send everything to me and I'll sign them for everybody and then send them back out. So, and a big thank you to everybody that did place an order for the calendars. It's so fantastic, and I hope you like them. They're always really good quality and feature 12 of my favorite projects that we've worked on this last year. So most all of them were done on the live stream, except for, I think, the angel at the very end. I didn't show how to do that one. That was kind of a personal project, but okay. So I'm going to shade a little bit more at the top of this roll, because to create this rounded look, I want shading at the bottom, a touch of shading at the top, and then it's going to be lighter in through here. Hi there, Lee. Awesome. Michelle, you love the new platform. That's awesome. I love the new platform as well. The Mighty Networks platform is awesome compared to Patreon. It just blows it away. So I'm going to darken up underneath the hat and kind of create it, make it look like it's curling under. And we just create that illusion with a little bit more shading. Thank you, Mina, for the links to both Minisa Pyrography and Wood Burning University, so you can get your calendar if you haven't yet. Also, a little heads up, I am going to have a big sale on my website tomorrow, starting tomorrow. So, with a big discount, and I can't offer discounts on the calendars because they're a fixed expense for me. So make sure you get your calendar tonight, and then definitely check back on the website tomorrow because there will be the biggest sale of the year for only 4 days. So it's a limited time. If you're looking for something special that you've been after, tomorrow and the next 4 days will be a perfect time to place an order. I know this is always a busy time of year with all the sales and promotions and whatnot, but it's a good time to save and get geared up for the next year. I think Walnut Hollow is still having their big sale as well. So if you haven't, if you need to purchase some wood products, this would be a great time to do that as well. I think they have 30% off of everything. You can't combine that with my discount of 15, but that's okay. Just so long as you guys get what you're needing to get. Alrighty, so I kind of forgot to finish this eye. Lisa, my webpage or Wood Burning University? Right now I have the big sale set up for Wood Burning University, but probably I'm going to do it for both. So you'll be able to get a discount on either one, prints and everything. So I'll be sending out an announcement tomorrow, an email send out, but both of them should have the discount, and it'll be a 30% big sale on everything. So books, DVDs, patterns. I only do a sale like this once a year, so it's just for 4 days and a big discount. I like to kind of keep the discounts for my supporters on Patreon, which I really appreciate. But this gives you guys an opportunity to get a good discount, a bigger one as well. So you're welcome, Lisa. You're welcome, Terry. Cynthia, any news on the mini shader point? They're still working on it. It's not ready yet, though. So as soon as I hear anything, definitive, if they announce it, I'll let you guys know. But for right now, it's still in progress. Definitely, Michelle. Yeah, if you guys can go on tonight and browse the patterns or anything that you want, to just put it in the shopping cart, and then tomorrow morning the sale will be on. So a nice light outline around the eyes. And let's give her a cute little button nose. It's a tiny bit darker at the top, a little lighter at the bottom. Alrighty, so let's start adding in a little bit of fur strokes for the face. This first layer of fur is going to be really light because we're just trying to figure out the direction of the fur and kind of gently block that in. If you sit there and you carve really dark, yeah, like we did here, really dark fur marks like this, they're going to be really hard to blend out. So we want a nice soft fluffy chipmunk or squirrel, and not a really scratchy one like a bristle brush. If you press down really hard and you push and make really dark indented lines, it's going to turn out more like a bristle brush than a soft fluffy critter. So lighter pressure is better if you're going for a fluffy critter. Okay, so I'm gonna try to stay in the camera here and then put on these nice little whiskers. These you can kind of indent a little bit more because once they're there, you're there. If you're unsure on your whiskers, make them lighter to begin with because you can always go darker. I want a nice sweeping motion that tails off, so I'm going to go ahead and press down just a wee bit there and indent the wood ever so slightly. But if you kind of trail off at the end of your stroke, you'll get a nice thin wispy line there at the end. Awesome, guys. Thanks, Christy. Glad that you get paid tomorrow. Cynthia, you love the project and you're going to try it soon. Yeah, it's very, very sweet and cute. And I left some room at the top so you can personalize it if you're going to make it as a gift. You can put, you know, Mr. and Mrs. Robinson or a date or anything like that. Something like this is a great way to personalize a gift. This is not the best hand position for me, but we'll keep going. Turning the wood definitely helps. And I think I'll have to at one point. Okay, so you can kind of see the difference between the Mr. and the Mrs. the fur. Her face is very flat right now. All we have is that initial single layer of fur. But he has several layers of fur, so he looks more dynamic, he looks more rounded. And that's what we can do next is go ahead and build up some more layers. It's going to be darker down here by the nose. And then it's also going to be darker at the top of her head where it kind of sneaks under the hat. To create that rounded look like we talked about, you want darker at the bottom, darker at the top, and a little bit lighter in the middle. And we're just going to keep adding fur strokes to build up that shading. And sometimes if we need to really accentuate that shadow of the hat, you can kind of go back over that and darken it a little bit. Alright, so just bringing that shading down, keeping a little bit of a curved stroke pattern here. So there's 2 layers, that's definitely looking better. We'll go ahead and do another layer and just darken it up a little bit more up at the top. Alright, I'd kind of like to round this portion of the hat a little bit more. Okay, and the camera's kind of at an angle too, so she looks a little bit skewed. This is like more natural there. It's like her hat's really pulled back there. Alright. So this next week we will, this next Friday, we'll work on the last part of our Whispers in the Rain project and get that finished up. And then I think we'll be diving into some Christmas themed items. Probably some ornaments are always good to try. Those are good for beginners. So do you guys have any special requests for our upcoming live streams? I'm thinking the next beginner live stream in 2 weeks, the 16th, we'll focus on just some really simple ornaments. But for the Friday night live stream, let me know what you guys are thinking. I know we've talked about it here and there. Just wondering if your thoughts have changed with the upcoming season. I would like to do some sort of a seasonal Christmassy item. So my burner is a little bit too warm. I'm having kind of a hard time keeping my values the way that I'd like to. So I'm going to turn this down a little bit to where the orange meets the red is generally where I turn it down to if I need to. So right there. So Lisa is suggesting a gingerbread house. Oh, that would be fun. I do have some really neat gingerbread house patterns that I think it'd be a lot of fun to create. And once again, I'm really simplifying the plaid pattern on the jackets. To do the negative space burning would be quite the challenge. So we're just going to keep it simple. And you can just do kind of a crisscross pattern here for the plaid. Just, you can see how I have it in curved lines, so just make sure that you match the curved lines. Lee is suggesting realistic eyes with Santa in the reflection of the eyes. That's really neat. That'd be cool, especially like a little portrait of a children's eyes, all bright and happy, and see the reflection of Santa. That'd be cool. So we're going to go again darker at the top, it's going to curve down, and we're going to have it darker at the bottom. So just really match the curvature of her scarf here. And then we'll go back and just hit a little bit of it's almost like a comma shaped motion, like if you were to draw a comma. And you just pull that gradient down a little bit where it's darker at the top. And then we'll do the same thing at the bottom. It's kind of a reverse comma where you just flip upward. And so sometimes you might need to go back and kind of darken up your lines for your plaid. All right. Alright, so now that my burner's cooled down a little bit, I'm going to do the soft blending under the chin. Okay, that's a little bit better. Terry suggests a snow globe with Santa in the sleigh pulled by a reindeer coming up to a full moon with houses in shadow below. That one would be very detailed. That sounds like fun. It'd be a probably a bigger project. I don't know that we could even get it done by Christmas. But let's see, we'll have, and that'll play a part too on like the level of complexity that we choose for our Friday night live stream. Because we'll have really only 2 sessions before Christmas, because we'll do the Whispers in the Rain this Friday, and then we'll have the 13th and the 20th to do something fun. And then the 27th will be our next live stream, so I'll see what I can come up with. It's hard to believe that we're already in the last month of the year. It's pretty amazing. All right, I have the burner turned down a little bit, so I'm going to work on some of the lighter areas like the paws and the legs. And then I'll turn the burner up for the jacket. So like we talked about at the last live stream, apparently squirrels have 4 appendages, 4 little fingers on the front paws and 5 toes on the back feet. So try to keep that in play here. Night Owl says a snow globe. Yep, that would be fun. Terry says a poinsettia. Those are neat. Poinsettias are a little bit difficult to get good contrast on because red and green show up the same value. You know, I know some people are colorblind, like red-green colorblind. So if you try to do a wood burning of something that has both red and green, you kind of really need to push your values one way or another and kind of play with it. Because the red and the green, once you turn them into sepia tone, they pretty much look the same. All right, so we have a little bit of fur strokes on the paws. Terry says a Christmas cactus. I don't think I've ever seen a Christmas cactus before. But that definitely sounds fun. A Christmas cactus. Is that just a cactus decorated like a Christmas tree? Okay, I really want the paws to be darker as they tuck underneath the coat. So I'm going to make them a little bit darker on the right hand side. Okay, and now we'll switch over and do the other side. Estella says, could we do an ornament with a simple Santa face on it? That would be a good one too. Oh, cool. So a Christmas cactus is a beautiful plant when in bloom. Okay, cool. I thought you just decorated a cactus like a Christmas tree. Alrighty, once again, nice light fur strokes. We'll add another layer. And one more layer towards the jacket cuff. Okay. Lisa says it's a small flowering cactus with red and white flowers. Well, that's neat. Okay. Let's work on her little legs. And you can see that I don't outline that curve with just a line. Because she's fluffy, we want to kind of create the illusion of fur as we make that curvature there. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more for you. Okay, so there you can see that, like, even underneath him, we don't have just a hard line. We want just a little bit of fur strips there. That'll make them look much more natural and fluffy. And then we have the tail. I didn't make this very dark down here. It's kind of hard to see, but we'll make it work. Now we can't really see all of her toes because her foot is turned, so we're only gonna put in 3 right now. Okay, we're gonna have a nice layer of fur. And then we'll do another layer, making sure to be darker at the top. And at the bottom. And I know that this is some of the things that I say a lot during the live streams as far as how to make things look three-dimensional, you know, dark at the top, dark at the bottom, lighter in the middle. But that's just kind of a really good skill to keep in your mind. I know sometimes we can get frustrated with trying to create the illusion of a rounded object and we forget some of these basics. So that's why you'll hear me talk about it again and again. Because whether you're creating a wood burning of a couple little critters or something more realistic or more simple, it doesn't matter. Just keep kind of these basic rules in play, and it'll help you to create what you're trying to create. Okay, a little bit of shadows underneath the toes. And in between the toes. So she's kind of looks like she's floating for right now because we need to ground her feet. And you can ground a subject just by adding some darker shading underneath. So it looks like they're actually standing on the ground. All right, it's a little bit better. And again, my burner is still on low. It's a lower temp, so I'm not getting those really dark values like I do have on his feet. But we'll turn the burner up here in just a little bit and darken some things up. Let's see, Michelle, you're looking forward to doing something Christmassy because this ridiculous word cloud, that you're doing is killing you. You're never going to do lettering again. Yeah, lettering can definitely be a challenge. Okay, so she has kind of a little swirl to her fur. Comes up out of the ankle and swirls kind of to the left. and then comes down from the top and swirls to the right. And this is where that nice light layer of fur comes into play, so you can kind of mess with the direction of the fur and keep it light. So if you need to make a change, you can. But just kind of sketch in the basics there. And then you can fill it in with the more layers. Night Owl, you've never done lettering before. Cool. It's neat. There's tricks to do it. But yeah. I kind of try to make the lettering maybe a little bit too perfect. I might take some extra steps that most people wouldn't, but I like really crisp lettering, like the edges are nice and crisp, so I take a little bit more time to make those that way. All right, so that's a good blocking in of her leg. Let's go ahead and take care of the feet. Okay, so Michelle, you say the burn is going a little inconsistent because it's pine. Yeah, that'll do it. Terry says you have to learn how to transition to get smooth on your lights and darks. Cool. Thanks, Terry. Yeah, we all have areas that we can work on and improve and learn. So I think it's just a fantastic and fun journey to challenge yourself to try new things, and sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. I know I've had to walk away rarely, but I have had to walk away from a few projects just because, you know, the quality of the wood was a big kicker for me. It just wasn't working out very well, and I wasn't able to create what I wanted to. So I just kind of scrapped the project and switched it to a different piece of wood, and that helped. But the surface of the wood is definitely a big factor. Plays a big part in how your project turns out. Night Owl, you have avoided portraits and building structures. You mostly do animals and scenery. Those are also very challenging subjects. But I think animals and scenery are probably a little bit more forgiving because, you know, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect like a building or a portrait. Okay. Michelle, you like wood burning portraits. Cool. Yeah, it's funny. You know, everybody's different. Some people are just terrified of portraits. Other people are terrified of fur. So they're all different skill sets and all good things to learn. But yeah, fur is completely different than skin, and that's one of the things that I love the most about wood burning is all the different textures. Okay. Probably gonna have to switch and turn up the burner, so I think I'll do that really quick so we can make these values dark enough. Okay, while my burner's warming up, I think I'll just start adding in a little bit more of her light underbelly. Hey there, buddy. Night Owl, you say you've done portraits in pencil and paintings, so gotcha. Yeah, it helps to kind of know a little bit of the structure, excuse me, for portraits. Michelle says, you're excited to try doing a portrait with your new Versa tool that arrived the other day. Awesome. Yeah, it's just so, so even and smooth to wood burn with. So I'm adding in just a few light outlines of the jacket. Nothing too dark. Looks like we have a little pocket here. Okay. So really quick, I'm going to try to touch up and darken some of these areas that we already burned. And just bump up our contrast a little bit. I think that's better. And we'll add a little darker areas underneath the feet. Definitely helps to work in layers when wood burning. You can always go darker. And the multitude of layers really help to build up your depth, and your just makes for a richer burning. Okay. Hi there, Wayne. Glad that you can make it tonight. So I want like a little bit of claws on the tips of her toes. And then her leg is really dark here where the ankle is. So we'll add another layer and then just pull that gradient upwards. All right. We're getting there, guys. Let's do another layer of fur on the other leg. Hey.
Sure smells good in here.
Okay. All right, so we're getting pretty good there on the fluffy pants and all the fur. Let's work on the jacket. We need a pretty dark value here where the jacket comes together. And I'm going to add a touch of a dark line underneath the lower part of the jacket for a shadow. And then you can always pull that down a little bit and make the top of the fur a little bit darker. So we'll go ahead and jump on into this little jacket here, starting with the lines that just signify our plaid. She looks like she just got out of prison, guys. She's got little jumper stripes. Leah's asking, let's see. Oh, Cynthia, you're heading off to sleep. Hope you sleep well. Thanks for joining us. Night Owl says you did a big painting of Noah's Ark for a church Sunday school about 25 years ago. Cool. Lee Rodas is wondering, has anyone done a burning in pointillism? I'd love doing it in school, just wondering how long and how hard it would be with burnings. It might actually go a little bit faster with wood burning because if you choose a bigger point, that might be save you some time. But yeah, wood burning and pointillism, they're very good. They go hand in hand. Yeah, Lisa, you just do dots to create a gradient. Yeah, it's similar to stippling. I know there's a difference, but I don't know exactly the difference. But depending on what point you use, you just create a bunch of dots, and you can create the illusion of dark values with more dots and light values with lighter, more sparse dots. So that's pointillism or stippling. Yeah. Okay. Her jacket is really cute. All right, let's add the horizontal lines in there. All right, so we have the framework for her jacket. Now we are going to start working on the shading. And we'll probably need to darken up those little grid lines for her jacket soon, but that's okay, we can do that later. But anytime that there's a crease or an overlap or a shadow, those are all great places to have the darker values. Ouch. Wayne, you're very welcome for replying to your email. You're off to a great start. I love what you're making. Night Owl says they look like a couple with matching outfits. I agree. They're very cute. Okay. So sometimes I like to just go in and put in my shadows first to kind of keep an eye on where they're at. And then we can start by adding in our soft side shading. And kind of blend things together. So once you get the framework in there, you know, that seems to take the longest time. The framework and then the darker values take a lot of time. Once it comes to just adding in some of this softer shading, it goes really pretty quickly. Alrighty. Okay. So, do you guys have any questions as far as what we're creating? I know we're going pretty quickly here. Yeah, this is definitely a beginner project. I'm kind of making it maybe a little bit more advanced, but just this is a nice project because it does have a lot of varying textures to it, and I think it's a great one for practice. Even if you just go in with more heavy outlines, it's still a really cute picture and something that will go well as gifts, and just a great learning opportunity to kind of test your skills and see what you can do with wood burning. So I'm going to go back over and darken up her little stripes and plaid. And fabric doesn't have to be super duper realistic. You can just throw in some lines, just make sure that they conform to the body. Like on the sleeves we have some rounded lines, and have fun with creating the different effects. We've got fur and we've got fabric, and we have some leaves down at the bottom. So blocking in again. And then I'm going to add kind of a little bit of a triangle here for this pocket so it looks like it's got a flap. And then we can add a touch of shading underneath. I'm going to try to make that pocket just a little bit lighter too. And let's pull a gradient downward from the shadow of the arm. We're getting there, guys. I'm going to give her a cute little 4 button for her buttons, and then we'll just lightly shade them and burn underneath, kind of a like if a C was laying on its side, just to give a little shadow underneath, like a smiley face. The buttons get smiley faces. All right. So for her arms, we want to make sure that we have a little bit more shadows on the underside of the sleeves. And I'm just going to go back over and darken up those lines again. Okay. You can create a little separation where their arms meet by making his jacket just a little bit darker. It seems like her arm is in front of his. So I'll make his jacket just a little bit darker there. Okay, so let's take a look at our tail. And just really follow those first strokes. Put in that nice beginner sketch. The first strokes on this one are quite longer, so go ahead and loosen up your stroke a little bit more. Okay, so let's take a little bit of a step back and see how they look. Woo, hi, that's a little fast. Okay, so that's looking really good so far. I am having a hard time focusing here. There we go. Okay, so there's always a little bit of tweaking that we can do, a little bit of adjusting. we'll get into the leaves here in a minute. I'll show you one of the ways that I love to make a little frame for projects like this. You can see that it has a little bit of a beveled edge to it. So if we take that same shader point and we just rock it on the edge, we can create a really neat, simple, and quick, easy border. Let me get to where you guys can see. All right. I will be turning the wood for this one because it just, you almost need to. So I'm just gonna ride, kind of like skate right along that beveled edge. And because this area here is elevated, I'm just allowing the point to make contact with that top edge. And the more that you rock the point flat, the flatter you get, the wider line that you will create. And then you just turn it and do each edge. But it's a really neat way to make a quick border. Thanks, guys. And I'm moving pretty fast, so you can really take your time and make it look really nice and perfect. You can even make that, what is it, that vignette, I think is how we say it, appearance where it's darker in the corners. That's fun too. And so you can see I'm just making contact with a very small portion of the wood. Squirrels are upside down like bats. That they do. Okay. So there we go. Cute little itty bitty squirrels with a nice border. Let me zoom out. It's midgen. So that's pretty fun. And then, like I say, you can go back and kind of darken up the edges to it a little bit, but then it gives it a little bit more of a finished, polished look to it. We're mostly done with the squirrels, but we'll work a little bit down in the leaves and we'll finish that up here. Okay. All right. All right. So we started on our leaves. They're in good order. They should go pretty quickly. We're just going to darken up some of the vein structure and then hit it with a nice soft side shading. It's kind of wobbly. And then you can kind of make it darker in the center and let it blend out. That'll make your leaf look a little bit more kind of three-dimensional. Terry says it would be cute to have a chipmunk riding a leaf like a surfboard in a water puddle. Oh, that would be so cute. Or a mouse, yeah. Or even riding a leaf like a sled down a winter slope. That would all be really cute. All right. And leaves are pretty simple. I know we've done a lot of leaves this fall between our horse project and the pumpkin and now this one here, so I hope you're not getting tired of leaves. We'll won't do any more leaves for the rest of the year, I promise. And this can be really dynamic and free-flowing. You can just kind of almost do a sketching aspect, I find. The farther I get away from my subject, I definitely loosen up my style. Terry, you never tired of leaves. Awesome. I like leaves too. My thing is very wobbly tonight. And I try never to actively press down on the woodburning with my hand, or especially my finger pads, because you can leave oils and then you'll burn over that area and you'll see your fingerprints actually burn into the wood because the oils burn a little bit differently. So I try not to ever touch the wood directly. And if you guys haven't ever done that, it's pretty fun to go ahead and do like an imprint of your finger, especially if it's, you know, you just put on lotion or something like that, and go back over the area and you can actually see the fingerprint show up. So anyway, you can see a little bit of the fingerprint in there. It's a little hard to see right there, but if you have really oily skin or lotion or anything like that and you touch the wood and then you wood burn, you can see a perfect fingerprint on the project. guys. Well, this is coming along really well. I could probably just nitpick at it for a little bit. Just, you know, always push those values a little bit darker. Liven up some of those darker midtones. You can always add more layers of fur. Yeah, I'm very careful how I handle the wood burning pieces. I always try to hold them by the sides or the back, you know, however you can, but I try not to ever touch the front, especially to like grab them because of that very thing. All right, well guys, I think this project is about wrapped up. Let me know if there's anything else that you want to add to this. I think we're looking pretty good. I'm gonna move that other light out of the way. That's sometimes for me because it just helps me to see more. But I would definitely encourage you guys to try this project. I don't think I have the pattern available on Wood Burning University yet, but it is available over on the Mighty Network, our paid platform. So you can join that platform for as little as $10 a month. This is a beginner project, so you could get this one for the $10 a month. Or you could, you know, it goes up in levels, you know, 10, 15, 20, and then 25 a month. So the 25 a month, you get everything. So you get access to all of the whole entire library that I have. We've got, gosh, 115 normal live streams, and this is our 7th beginner live stream. So there's a ton of information out there. Mina has the link, there in the chat. So if you're interested in learning more, that's a great place to go. And don't forget to get your calendars if you haven't gotten your calendar yet tonight through woodburninguniversity.com. Make sure you get calendars because here in a couple hours, probably like 11 o'clock my time, I'm going to take the calendars off the site for the year. So very limited on that one. And then don't forget to check your inbox tomorrow for a special discount code to get 30% off both my websites, Minisa Pyrography and Wood Burning University. It's only for 4 days, so if you see something there that you like, go ahead and grab it at a nice little discount. Well, I think we're pretty well there with this project. I hope that you enjoyed it. And don't forget that you can add text at the top and really personalize this. Another thing that would be neat is to maybe frame it with some leaves. You could put some leaves in the corners, whatever you would like. This project would go well with color. Orange leaves would be very pretty. Orange goes well with wood burnings also. All right, so do we have any questions? I know we're kind of finishing up a little bit early, but I think our little cozy critters are there. So if you have a question, throw it in the chat. If I don't get to it, you can always send me an email. Admin@woodburninguniversity.com works well. And I hope to see you guys this next Friday. We will continue working on Whispers in the Rain. It's a couple walking down a rainy street with an umbrella. Awesome. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Night Owl. Thanks, Mina. Okay. Well, if I don't see any questions in there, I think we'll call this a good live stream. Thanks, Terry. Have a great night. Yes, you stay well and warm as well. Alrighty, guys. Okay, well, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you this Friday. Have a great night.